So this is a very funny question from Matt. So hi, Matt. So, Mike, can you talk about the type of sessions you were doing when you did Living Inside, Mike Monday remix? I have no idea what track you're talking about whatsoever. Now, this brings up an important point, Matt. Okay, so Mike Monday, sorry, was it Living Inside, Mike Monday remix? The type of sessions I was doing. I do not remember remixing that track. Now, that isn't to say that I didn't do it. I don't even know who it was by. Who was it by? Got no idea. I vaguely remember there being a vocal that was like, living inside of me, or something like that. But I have no idea what the track was. I don't know what studio I did it in. I don't know what time of my life it was. I don't know what artist it was. I don't know who I did it for. I don't know how much I was paid. I've got zero idea. Now, the reason this is an important point is that when you're on the other side of, when you haven't released anything, for instance, or if you've only released a very small amount, so for instance, I remember the first maybe 3 releases that I did. Like, I still remember them because they were really kind of big. You know, if you've released one track, it's 100% of your output. Yeah. If you've released 500, then one track is very small, but you will still remember the first ones. So the more music that you release, it's almost like the less of a big deal they are. I mean, they're a big deal when you're making them. You work as hard as you can and you make them as good as you can. Of course you do. It's just a kind of natural human thing. But, you know, in terms of actually being like, can you tell us what type of sessions you were doing when you did Living Inside? It's like, seriously? Like, if I was to ask you, can you remember in your day job what you were doing when you completed this particular, I don't know, project? Yeah, can you remember what you were doing on, how that was working? Probably the majority of the things you won't remember. And this is important because when we're on the other side of it, when we haven't released very much, often we think that we're going to be carrying around this baggage, of this music. Like, oh no, it was terrible. When in reality, I mean, that box of records represents a small minority of what I released on vinyl. Okay, it's the ones that I could find, essentially, in my vinyl collection. It's the only, no, actually, I do have other people's vinyl somewhere else, but I did actually get rid of a lot of my record collection. So those are the ones that I could salvage from, and that's just vinyl. That's not when it went digital. Okay. Do you honestly think that I can remember, like let alone the sessions, the actual tracks? I mean, I really can't. I put on records for my kids because they want to hear my music. Oh, I want to hear Daddy's music. Yeah, from when I used to do what I used to do, and I'm like, what's this? I vaguely remembered maybe the title vaguely, but I'm like, I can't, and there's no way I can remember the tune, let alone the actual sessions. So thank you for the question, but I don't know. God, goodness knows.